What's going on, guys? Nick here with another video. This one says the one thing that's destroying your confidence. So this one is more of giving advice, and I wanted to just have some commentary on it. But this person says, I was a shy kid for 90% of my life. I was always anxious, and you'll find me pretending to use my phone so I don't have to talk to anyone. I didn't know the reason until I found out about belief. I was shocked at how much negative beliefs I was holding in myself. To those struggling, I hope this helps you out. I'm useless. I'm a failure. I can't get anything right. I don't deserve to be loved. I don't have the right to be happy. If you were confident as a child and now socially anxious and lost in life as an adult, you have negative beliefs holding you back. So this is huge because there's a concept called limiting beliefs. And it's basically what this person is talking about here. It's these beliefs that you've created somewhere along your journey. They're not true at all. They're just perceptions that you've created on your own, but they're negative frameworks that stop you from reaching your true potential. So they go on to say they're subtle but incredibly damaging. They can linger for years, decades, or until you die. That's really true. If you don't cut them off and find out how to reframe them, they will stay with you forever. You have an obligation to identify and dissect these negative beliefs, where they came from, how they are infecting your life with negative thoughts like a mental illness, because they make you mess up the easiest tasks and cause you to act subconsciously in a way that you deem cringe, so you end up feeling shameful afterwards. So this is a big point that I do want to touch on. Limiting beliefs are going to limit your performance. So what I mean by that is in anything you do, whether it's sports, whether it's your job, whether it's just everyday life, you perform to the ability of your expectations, to what you believe. So you could take this for a very easy example. If you play sports and naturally you tell yourself, man, I hate pressure. Pressure makes me so anxious. It gives me these nerves that I am just not comfortable. I just don't like pressure. You can guarantee that you're going to find yourself in pressure and you're going to fail every single time. And the slight chance that you do luckily succeed in pressure, it's pure luck. It's definitely not because you prepared yourself to succeed. Because if you step back and you look at it, a lot of these beliefs that you have, especially limiting beliefs, these negative beliefs, they're not true at all. If you look back at like one of these things that they said, I don't deserve to be loved. Well, is that factual or is that something you made up? Because this person could think that you deserve to be loved, and then that person could think that, you're right, you don't deserve to be loved. Either way, there's no right or wrong. It's what you choose to believe. So if you go back to the pressure situation that I was mentioning earlier, if you tell yourself, man, I thrive under pressure. I always overcome any obstacle, any type of adversity because I can get it done under the most amount of pressure. You're going to naturally find yourself with some energy when pressure strikes. When you find yourself in the pressure cooker, you're going to start to feel like, hey, I can overcome this. This isn't as bad as, what I had thought in the past. And it all comes down to these beliefs that you tell yourself. So if we go back in, they say, you have to stop your infected mind from colonizing your thoughts. The invaders need to be controlled and stopped from getting full control, your negative beliefs. I like that. You will need to create a barrier for your perception, a filtering mechanism that allows your positive thoughts to take over, to separate logical and rational thought from emotional thought to create distance. This is very, very helpful when it comes to stopping these negative thoughts and limiting beliefs. So a way to do this is there's this technique that you can implement from psychology where you put a rubber band around your wrist, and every time that you have a negative thought or a thought that does not benefit you, it pulls you down. Pull that rubber band and pop yourself, because it's going to create this trigger in your mind of any time that I think of something negative about myself, it's teaching me to be present and change that thought. So when you have the thought, I'm not good enough or whatever it may be, pop the rubber band, reframe it, be present, and think, you know what? That's not a true thought. That's subjective. Who says that I'm not good enough other than myself? If I want to be good enough, then I'm going to be good enough. I'm going to find a way to do this. First, acknowledge the thought, recognize it, be present, reframe it in your mind like what I just did there, and go on about your day. And I promise you, the more that you do this, the more that you pop that rubber band when you have a negative thought about yourself or a limiting belief, you reframe it, those negative beliefs are going to get further and further apart to the point where you just don't think like that anymore. So going back into this, there's like an observer that sees and knows everything. That's where meditation comes in. Meditation is huge for being present, like I talked about just a second ago, because being mindful allows you to know what is emotion from what is thought. If you have trouble dealing with your emotions and thoughts overtaking, practice mindfulness. It has honestly helped me overcome a lot of problems in life like OCD and ADHD. Hope this helps. To just close close it out, I love the fact that they're talking about meditation because it's a way to slow your mind down and be present. If you can work on your breathing and really remove all thoughts, all obligations, all responsibilities from your mind for a brief moment in time, you're going to get so much clarity. It's going to help you be more present, recognize these limiting beliefs, these negative thoughts. It's going to help you organize what you do during the day. You're going to think a lot clearer, and ultimately you'll become more productive and just feel better overall. But to the title of this post here, the one thing that's destroying your confidence, they talk about limiting beliefs. This is at the core, arguably the worst thing that a person can have. And we all have them, these limiting beliefs. But the problem is, people write them off as just a normal way of life. They don't actually slow down enough to have the presence, the awareness to think, man, what I'm saying isn't really true. It's just a negative perception that I'm putting on this. It's coming from a negative filter that I have created. They don't want to take ownership of that. And this could quite possibly be because they don't actually know that it's possible. I mean, if you think about it, we go through life just reacting a lot. And a lot of times people don't know that your thoughts, they create your reality. They create the results that you have in your life. So if you can be present enough to change the way that you say things, change the way that you view yourself and your potential, people will surprise themselves on what they can actually achieve. But you can't luck into success. You can't luck into a good situation. You have to see it in your mind and you have to speak about it. I mean, you hear it all the time from people who have done successful things in life. I spoke this thing into existence. I saw this way before it happened. And I can give you a personal story that, well, I have a few of them actually, but every single goal that I've set has been on about a 3-year time frame. When I set these major goals in my life, at the time that I'm doing them, I may not have the experience, I may not have the skill, I may not have the intelligence to do it, but over time, continuing to see myself as that person that has achieved that, whatever it is that I'm trying to achieve, it puts myself in situations along the road that naturally get me closer to whatever it is that I want to do. And I'm not saying it's easy and there's no challenges through it, but if you have the ability to put yourself in this situation mentally, before it actually happens, you see yourself doing it, it's gonna just blow your confidence up more than you could ever imagine. So I hope this helps. This was a really good post, so I really wanted to talk about it and just give a little commentary on it. If you guys have any questions or want to talk more about it, just drop it in the comments. Would love to talk to you guys soon.